On a broken wooden bench outside a small hospital sat 19-year-old Emma. Her old jacket was soaked, but she didn't move. In her trembling hands, she held a single crumpled dollar bill. It was the last money she had in the world. Inside the hospital, her 10-year-old brother Noah lay unconscious on a bed. Doctors had discovered that Noah needed emergency medicine immediately. Without it, he might not survive the night. Emma had already sold almost everything they owned. Their television, their small refrigerator, their mother's wedding ring, even her own school laptop. There was nothing left to sell, nothing except hope. Emma looked at the dollar in her hand and whispered, "Please, let this somehow be enough." It wasn't, not even close. But sometimes miracles begin with something impossibly small. Only 2 years earlier, life had been completely different. Emma and Noah lived happily with their parents in a tiny apartment. They weren't rich, far from it. But every evening their father returned from work carrying fresh bread, and their mother filled the apartment with laughter while cooking dinner. Noah loved drawing superheroes. Emma dreamed of becoming a nurse. Life wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful. Then everything changed. One rainy night, their parents were driving home after celebrating their anniversary. A speeding truck ignored a red light. One terrible crash stole both of their parents forever. Emma was only 17. Noah had just turned 8. In a single night, Emma became both sister and mother. She dropped out of school, worked mornings cleaning offices, afternoons washing dishes, evenings delivering groceries. At night, she studied old nursing books under a weak lamp because she refused to let her dream die completely. Every dollar she earned went toward rent, food, and Noah's education. She often lied. "I'm not hungry. You eat first. I already had lunch." Noah believed her. He never knew his sister secretly drank water before bed just to stop the pain of an empty stomach. Years passed. Despite every hardship, Noah remained cheerful. He believed Emma was the strongest person in the world. Whenever classmates laughed at his old clothes, he smiled anyway. "My sister says kindness is worth more than expensive shoes." Emma cried the day she accidentally heard him saying those words. Then one afternoon, Noah collapsed during school. At first, everyone thought he had simply fainted. But hospital tests revealed a serious heart infection. The treatment was expensive, far beyond anything Emma could afford. The doctor looked at her gently. "We'll do everything we can, but the medication must be purchased immediately." Emma nodded. She didn't cry in front of Noah. Not once. Instead, she smiled. "We're going to beat this together." For the next several weeks, she worked almost 20 hours every day. She cleaned restaurants after midnight, loaded trucks before sunrise, delivered food on weekends. She barely slept. Her hands developed painful cuts. Her feet bled inside worn-out shoes. Still, it wasn't enough. Hospital bills continued growing. One by one, every possession disappeared. The apartment became almost empty. No sofa, no dining table, no television, only 2 mattresses on the floor. But Noah never complained. One evening, Emma secretly counted her savings. $43. The medicine cost nearly $2,000. She stared silently at the numbers, then smiled through tears. There has to be another way. She visited banks. No loan. She visited charities. Waiting list. She asked relatives. Most never answered. Some closed their doors. One uncle even said, "You're too young to raise him. Maybe let the system take care of Noah." Emma walked away without saying a word. The idea of giving up her brother hurt more than hunger. Days later, the hospital called. "Noah's condition is getting worse." Emma ran there immediately. The doctor looked exhausted. "If treatment doesn't begin very soon." He couldn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Emma understood. That evening, she searched every pocket of every jacket, every drawer, every old bag. She found coins, a few cents. Finally, one lonely dollar bill. She stared at it for a long time. Her last dollar. The last piece of certainty she possessed. She could buy herself food or a bus ride. Instead, she walked into the hospital pharmacy. "I know this isn't enough," she whispered, placing the dollar on the counter. "But please, can this help somehow? My brother is dying." The pharmacist looked at her quietly. Customers standing nearby also heard her words. The room became completely silent. An elderly man waiting for his prescription slowly stepped forward. He picked up Emma's dollar, then placed it back into her hand. "No," he smiled warmly. "This dollar isn't payment. It's proof." Emma looked confused. "Proof of what?" Proof that you've already given everything. Without another word, the old man walked to the cashier. He quietly paid several $1,000s. Emma gasped. No, I can't let you do that. The man simply smiled. When I was young, my own sister sold everything to save my life. He paused. I never had the chance to repay her. His eyes filled with tears. So today, allow me to honor her through you. Emma collapsed into tears. For the first time in months. She wasn't crying because she was afraid. She was crying because someone had finally seen her pain. Word spread throughout the hospital. Nurses donated money. Doctors reduced their fees. A local bakery delivered food. Children wrote colorful cards for Noah. One woman knitted him a warm blanket. A musician organized a small fundraiser. Within 2 days, the full treatment was paid. Emma couldn't believe it. All because she had walked into the pharmacy carrying only $1. Noah's surgery lasted 6 long hours. Emma never left the waiting room. She prayed, cried, remembered every bedtime story she had ever told him. She imagined birthdays they hadn't celebrated yet. She begged the universe for one more chance. Finally, the surgeon walked out. Emma stood so quickly she nearly fell. The doctor smiled. The surgery was successful. Emma burst into tears. She covered her face and thanked God over and over. Her little brother was alive. Recovery wasn't easy. Noah had weeks of therapy, painful exercises, daily medication. Some days he wanted to give up. Emma always sat beside him. You've already survived the hardest part. Slowly, he grew stronger. Day after day, step by step, smile by smile. Months later, Noah returned to school. His classmates welcomed him with applause. Teachers hugged him. Even strangers in town recognized him as the boy who never stopped fighting. But Noah always corrected them. I'm only here because my sister never stopped fighting. Years passed. Emma finally returned to nursing school. She graduated with honors. On graduation day, she searched the crowd. There sat Noah, healthy, smiling, clapping louder than anyone. When Emma received her nursing pin, she looked toward heaven. I kept my promise, Mom. Dad, we made it. Noah eventually became a heart surgeon. His inspiration was simple. I want every child to receive the chance my sister fought so hard to give me. The siblings later opened a small foundation helping families who couldn't afford emergency medical treatment. Above the entrance hung a framed $1 bill. Visitors often asked why such a tiny amount was displayed so proudly. Emma would smile. Because sometimes, the smallest gift carries the biggest love. One afternoon, the elderly man who had paid Noah's hospital bill visited the foundation. His hair had become completely white. Emma hugged him tightly. You changed our lives. He smiled. No, you changed mine. I spent decades wondering how to repay my sister. Because of you, I finally did. As the years passed, thousands of families received help through Emma and Noah's foundation. Every family left with more than financial support. They left with hope. The kind of hope that begins with one act of kindness. One stranger. One decision. $1.